Hi everybody. How are you? I'm going to give it a couple minutes and let some people get on here. I'm not going to do a lot of saying hi to people tonight. I'm not going to do a lot of that because I have some very important information that I need to cover. And so I'm pretty much just going to get right to it. This is probably the most important video I'll ever make. And I hope that you will share it to your groups. I hope that you will save it to your computer in case it gets deleted. I hope that you will seriously listen to what I'm trying to say tonight. I want to talk to you a little bit about Virginia and some of the things that transpired today. They went ahead and did a vote on some of these gun laws in Virginia today that weren't scheduled yet. And the reality of the situation is what that does is prevents lobby day from being effective, right? Everybody's going to go to Virginia on the 20th to lobby their delegate and to express their feelings and redress their grievances. And what happened today was that Virginia decided to take that right away from their citizens. This may come as a shock to some people. It did not come as a shock to me. It's actually something we've been preparing for over the last several days. And when I say we, I mean that we have put together a congress of people, of we the people, and a panel, if you will. And we have been having some conference calls and discussing some of the events taking place in Virginia because we're very concerned. We're very concerned about losing our freedoms. We're very concerned that this trend might spread to other states. We're concerned for the people of Virginia, who are not only being stripped of their gun rights at this point, but also of their right to peaceably assemble and their right to a redress of grievances. This has far exceeded an overreach. We're well past the point of abuse of power. And so the panel of people that I've been working with, we have all come together and we have decided collectively that we are going to be issuing a final notice to cease and desist and demand for immediate remedy to the delegates of the state of Virginia for their breach of contract and oppression against the Virginian citizens. I'm going to take a few minutes to go over our demand for immediate remedy with you. I'm going to ask you to share my video to your groups and your pages. I'm also going to let you know that I'm putting a PDF file link in this live feed so that you guys can save it and print it and sign it and use it at will. It's also going to be available for you to use in your own states because, as we're already seeing, Virginia has set a precedent. And so other states are following suit, thinking that it's okay to act in tyranny against we the people. And I'm here to tell you that that's not going to be accepted, that we're not going to allow that. This is very emotional, very difficult, and very passionate subject. And so I want to tell you before I get into the document that with my whole heart, I consider myself a patriot, an American patriot. I love my country, and I love my fellow Americans. And this is my last-ditch effort to prevent anybody from getting harmed, to prevent anybody from going down a path that we can't come back from. Governor Northam, I believe, decided in his head that if he snuck this emergency session in and voted on these bills behind the backs of the people of Virginia, that somehow he would prevent the 100,000 people that are going to Virginia on the 20th from showing up. Instead, what he has done is changed their motivation for going. See, everybody's still going. We're still going to show up on your doorstep and demand that you adhere to the Constitution of these United States. The problem is, there's nothing to lobby now. There's nothing to protest now. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't want to see anybody's life ruined. I don't want to see anything like that at all, because I love my fellow Americans. So with my whole heart, Ralph Northam and your posse of tyrannical, unconstitutional betrayers of the people, this is, in fact, your final notice to cease and desist and demand for immediate remedy. We, the people et al., on behalf of the citizens of the Commonwealth of the State of Virginia, do hereby demand that you immediately stop your current course of action. You have been found by the citizens of the Commonwealth of Virginia and the citizens of the United States of America to be guilty of violating the Constitution of the United States of America, which binds you to the same, and for which conditional entry into the Union is granted contingent on adherence. During the 2019-2020 legislative session, you have proposed and enacted unconstitutional and therefore illegal as implied legislative measures with the direct purpose and intent of stripping Virginia citizens from their sovereign rights as guaranteed and protected by the Constitution of the United States, which is an authority greater than your own and to which you are required to adhere to protect and defend as conditional entry into the Union. Having subjected your case to a panel of we the people of the United States of America, it has been unanimously determined that the named defendants representing the Commonwealth of Virginia are guilty, either by direct action or failure to act in the prevention of at least and not limited to the following 7 breaches. 1. Amendment 1 to the Constitution of the United States, shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. 2. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. 3. Amendment 4 to the Constitution of the United States. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things being seized. That refers to red flag laws. 4. Amendment 5 to the Constitution of the United States. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service of time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any crime case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Also refers to red flag laws. Amendment 9 to the Constitution of the United States. The enumeration of the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people as individuals. Amendment 10 to the Constitution of the United States. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. In other words, your authority ends where the Constitution begins. Number 7, Number 7, Amendment 14 to the Constitution of the United States, Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of laws. Due to the nature of the offenses against the citizens of Virginia, properly identified as American citizens by law and constitute, this notice is to inform you that if you do not immediately stop and repeal all acts of tyranny, oppression, and violation of constitutional rights against the citizens of the Commonwealth of Virginia, that legal action may be taken against your individual persons, which include but are not limited to termination of position held, civil litigation, criminal prosecution. This is your final notice and demand for remedy. You must immediately rescind any legislative bills which seek to oppress the citizens of the Commonwealth of Virginia and tender your resignation from office. Failure to comply swiftly and immediately prior to the January 20th legislative session will result in legal action which will commence effective January 21st, 2020. This notice, as we speak, is being emailed to every single person who represents the governing body of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Ralph Northam, as governor, has been identified as the key representative for those individual persons. This is our last-ditch effort. This is your final warning. Please uphold the oath of office you swore when we, the people, decided to allow you the privilege to represent us in government. Your failure to do so has resulted in this. This is not a skit. This is not a meme. This is absolute real life. We are prepared to defend our rights. This is not a minor infraction. What you're threatening against us right now is the inheritance guaranteed to our children and our grandchildren. We will not tolerate it. Ralph Northam of the Commonwealth of Virginia, you are hereby put on notice by We the People et al. You must immediately stop this course of action. God save the Republic. Good night.